The Red Ink Award for the Journalist of the Year 2017 goes to Raj Kamal Jha, the Chief Editor. Can I finish? I have only nice things to say about him. Raj Kamal Jha, the Chief Editor of the left-hand side of this auditorium, for providing exemplary stewardship over the last couple of years to the Indian Express newspaper, for providing focus and restoring what it has always been known best for, investigative journalism. Jha has led from the front to make Indian Express part of an international investigative team that cracked the global money laundering scam known as the Panama Papers. Raj Kamal Jha wins the Journalist of the Year. Now, Raj, there was more of your citation, but since I'm getting out-shouted, I'll just invite you to come in here and speak a few words, please.
Thank you very much, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, for being here. It has been a very, very strange kind of evening. The first half has been as if we were at a funeral. And the second half, there are at least 30 reasons that wreck the foundation of the main argument in the first half. And I completely agree with Veer that, it is very good to do navel gazing, but the navel, come to think of it, is a very wrong place to gaze at. It's not a good place. So I'll just share a few thoughts. Please have a seat. You put pressure. It's not just modesty, but fairness demands that I say this. This does not belong to me. It belongs to the Indian Express. It is a newspaper which I joined very coincidentally on this day, June 7th, in 1996. And since then, every day it has taught me two things. It has taught me many, many things, but two stand out, and two which I hold very dear. One, our fundamental job is to tell stories. We have to tell stories that others don't tell. We have to tell stories that some do not want to be told. And in some case, we have to tell stories that if we don't tell, they may never get told. This is a very important fact. I say this because the inexorable force of social media about which we heard is just the opposite. The basic instinct in social media is to take a stand and express an opinion, not tell a story. My favorite quote, which I use, I don't give many speeches, so I can recycle a quote I used about 2 years ago. And it's from Philip Pullman. And he said, "Thou shalt not might reach the head, but it takes once upon a time to reach the heart." And we are all too busy these days on social media and in panel discussions discussing what thou shalt not. The second thing I learn, and I will end with that, is that, and which I learn every day, it is that it is very difficult, it is incredibly difficult to do good journalism all by yourself. You need to surround yourself with people smarter than you. One of the things that Unni, who's our editor, Unni Rajan Shankar, and I celebrate, and we do that at least once a week, is the joy of discovery. Suddenly we get a story that reads so well by somebody so young, and we say, we never could write this. And I think that is the wonderful joy of working in a newsroom like the one I work in. That is why Journalist of the Year is a wrong name. This belongs to my colleagues in editorial, almost 400 of them, who surprise me and inspire me every day. To the team of editors who are unnamed and unknown, you don't know their names, you will never know their names, but you won't get them for love or money. They sit every night and they work on other people's stories. My colleagues in marketing and advertising, and very important in legal, who ensure our revenues and protect our freedoms, and they keep a vigil on the wall between the two. And lastly, at a time when in the cause of good journalism, we love to blame our owners, or some of us want to become owners, I stand here this evening because of Mr. Vivek Goenka, chairman of the Express Group. I'm not sure many of you have seen him or you will ever see him. But the freedoms of the Indian Express, the sense of mission that these freedoms bring to all of us in the newsroom are possible because he believes in them. In what the Indian Express has always stood for and will always stand for, journalism of courage, in a newsroom which is open to everything in the world, which is open to everything and anything except two things, fear and favor. On behalf of all of the Express Group, I'm very, very honored to receive this award. Thank you very much.